Gains of President Muhammadu Buhari 5-day visit to the United States as he meets Nigerians doing the nation proud. Just as experts refocus attention on child and maternal mortality. Plus, religious leaders call for life of uprightness and patriotism. These and more on today's NTA Panorama. I am Lydia Bassi. President Muhammadu Buhari has returned after a 5-day official visit to the United States. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the president, accompanied by the governors of Bauchi and Kwara states, arrived Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport at about 6:15 Monday morning. He was received by the Minister of the FCT, Muhammad Bello, Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arase, the Chief of Staff to the President, Abba Kyari, and other senior government officials. While in the United States, President Buhari participated in the 4th Nuclear Security Summit, which he defended the rights of Nigeria and other developing countries to the use of nuclear energy for socio-economic development. The president also held bilateral engagements with some world leaders who promised to support his administration's genuine efforts at fighting corruption, insurgency, and revamping the nation's economy for the creation of job opportunities. Before leaving Washington, President Buhari met a select group of Nigerian professionals where he called for the understanding of the citizenry as the federal government strives to dismantle obstacles to national development for a better Nigeria.
Please have confidence in us that we are determined to get things done this time around, and God willing, we will succeed. We are prepared to make amends of our mistakes. And we thank God that our countrymen and women are realizing how much opportunity we have lost. God gave us the resources, both human and material, but we failed to use it. But I assure you we will seize every opportunity now to use it so that we can build the infrastructure and move forward as rapidly as humanly possible.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has reassured Nigerians home and abroad that his commitment to moving the country forward remains unshaken. He said this in Washington, D.C. during a meeting with 5 Nigerians who have excelled in their chosen fields. Adeyemi Omojola Fatoba has the report.
The 5 Nigerians include the only African to have served on the board of the United States National Aeronautical Space Agency, Professor Austin Esogwe, a leading car designer with General Motors, Jelani Aliyu, a renowned microbiologist and biochemist, Professor Nwadiu Toesiobu. Others are a renowned cardiologist and assistant professor of medicine, Dr. Yemi Badiro, and a 13-year-old Zuri Oloduwole, an advocate for quality education, who has interviewed 18 world leaders. President Muhammadu Buhari assured them that his administration is determined to tackle the problems that have hindered the progress of the country by rehabilitating and expanding national infrastructure as quickly as possible. President Muhammadu Buhari congratulated the 5 Nigerians on their accomplishments, added that his administration will maintain contacts with Nigerian professionals in the diaspora to see how and where they can best contribute to national development.
I need the understanding and support of everybody to try to understand the situation Nigerians find themselves in and the efforts the government is making to improve things in line with 3 identified fundamental issues: security, economy, and fighting corruption. We want people to make an attempt, a genuine attempt to understand us and the efforts we are making to make sure that we deliver.
I am certain that Nigeria someday will be the world power. And I mean world power militarily, economically, and otherwise.
I was extremely impressed by his very calm demeanor, coupled with the commitment in his voice.
And also talking about the importance of education and also the education needs for Nigeria.
I'm ready to go and help, not necessarily as an employee, but just to go and help, direct groups, train younger people.
The time is now for us to really embark on that project to create the pride of Nigeria, not just Nigeria but Africa. And I am willing, ready, and committed to lead such a program to design the authentic Nigerian automobile.
You're so proud to be a Nigerian, listening to them, their achievements and contributions, and you have a president who is determined to ensure that these enormous human resources are fully tapped for the growth of Nigeria. So it's going to be a great partnership.
From Washington, D.C., Adeyemi Omojola Fatoba, NTA News.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has identified continuity in governance and political stability in the West African sub-region as an important element in the fight against Boko Haram and insurgency. Speaking over the weekend in Niamey, Niger Republic, at the inauguration of President Issoufou Mahamadou for a second term in office, the Vice President said the re-election of the Nigerian leader is significant for the sub-region's coalition against insurgents and terrorists. According to him, Niger is an important partner and also an important ally in the war against terrorism and a good neighbor. The Vice President, who represented President Muhammadu Buhari at the ceremony, remarked that the Nigerian President's inauguration is also an opportunity to honor a strong ally and to reinforce all important diplomatic and military ties. President Mahamadou restated Niger's renewed commitment to join forces with Nigeria and other neighbors to fight insurgency at the sub-regional level. About 52 countries witnessed the ceremony, including 9 West African presidents. There were also several Nigerian dignitaries at the occasion, including the APC national leader, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and several governors, especially from the northern states. The Vice President has since returned to Abuja. A visit to some petrol stations in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, this morning indicates that the fuel situation is improving, as reported by Mayor Ogidi.
On Thursday last week, I was in this particular filling station at the central area of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and this road was completely covered. But today, the situation is better, as only one queue is formed and the crowd is not that much. That shows some level of improvement, as confirmed by some of the motorists I interviewed, though they are still not too comfortable with the situation.
We thank God that there have been improvement for some time now. The queue is not as much as it was before. We just thank God for that.
It's just a local improvement for now.
If you are that it's getting better, it simply means that we can drive in and get fuel and go. We are still queuing. The queue is not getting shorter, it's not getting lesser.
This is one of the NNPC mega stations located in Garuki, the Federal Capital Territory. The situation is similar to the ones we earlier visited, that is some of the private stations, as the queues are reducing. Some of the motorists are impressed with the situation, but still call for government intervention.
In fact, today is better than before, but there is queue everywhere, and it has been long I joined the queue, but the queue is moving.
It is not all good news all the way, as some of the filling stations in the Federal Capital Territory are still locked up for reasons that were not disclosed to us. This prompted me to put a call through to an official in the Department of Petroleum Resources, who however told me that enough supply has been brought into the Federal Capital Territory and non-availability of the product should not be an excuse in any filling station. Mayor Ogidi, NTA News.
Mia, thanks for that update. The Federal Ministry of Science and Technology says the proposed Science and Technology Museum to be built in Nigeria soon is to create sufficient awareness on technology and in response to the curiosity of young Nigerians in sciences. The Minister, Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu, reiterated this commitment when he received the acting British High Commissioner to Nigeria for Science and Technology Investments for discussions. Justin Bemunyi reports.
A Science and Technology Museum often referred to as the Science Center or Discovery Center, is a museum devoted primarily to applied science and technological developments. All such museums around the world are united in being places that make science accessible and encourage the excitement of discovery. Now that the government wants to establish such a unique, away from the usual museum in the country, it is hoped that it is an early step to get young Nigerians to get interested in science and technology.
Within this year, the ministry will start working seriously in making sure that we have a science and technology museum. But we have to start that so that we can start early to get young Nigerians to be more interested in science and technology.
The ministry affirms Nigerians' open arms to welcome new technologies in the country as conducive investment environment is guaranteed for mutual benefits. Justin Bemunyi, NTA News.
Now to health matters. The need to refocus attention on the plight of women and children's death from preventable diseases despite proven public health interventions that can end it is a thrust of discussion by representatives from various health entities that held in Abuja. The event was put together by the Management Science for Health. Health correspondent Rashidat Mustafa Olagunju has more.
The conversation is to brainstorm on how to improve the health and lives of Nigerian women and children, and by extension put an end to about 150 women and 2,300 children deaths daily due to preventable causes. Universal health coverage, implementation of the National Health Act are some of the issues deliberated on. Management Science for Health said they are ready to save lives by closing the gap between knowledge and action in public health.
NSA supports universal health coverage because we believe that the most vulnerable are the biggest beneficiaries.
Discussants also dwelled on how to ensure harmonious partnership between federal government, the vibrant private sector, and the donor agencies, civil society organization for a strong and sustainable health sector in Abuja. Rashidat Mustafa Olagunju, NTA News.
People's Democratic Party constitute 4 special committees ahead of National Convention. Details when we return.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
Together, no matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Let's stop fighting each other. Let us live as one. It doesn't matter where you come from, your tribe or religion, man, woman or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Put Nigeria first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
How can we develop when we're always in crisis? Families have become refugees in their country. No matter our differences, show some understanding.
No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
Nigeria, the only country we can train with remarkable potentials to excel. Let us believe in ourselves and change our attitude for the sake of our country and generations unborn. Let us revive our cultural values, which are our essence as a nation. Let us renew the spirit of patriotism and hope in our dear country. Do not take or give bribe. Be punctual always. No more African time. We can't expect to be global citizens and operate on African time. Join the queue. Insist that people are attended to on a first-come basis, no matter who they are or where they come from.
Nigeria, good people, great nation.
Welcome back. This is NTA Panorama. Ahead of the National Convention of the People's Democratic Party in line with the decision of its National Executive Committee, the party's national chairman, Senator Ali Modu Sheriff, has constituted the 4 special committees in preparation for the overall rebuilding and repositioning of the party. The committees which are to be inaugurated on Tuesday are the National Convention Committee, Reconciliation, Zoning, and the Finance Committee. The National Convention Committee has Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike as chairman, Taraba State Governor Darius Ishaku as deputy chairman, and the Governor of Ebonyi State, Dave Umahi, as secretary. The Reconciliation Committee has the Bayelsa State Governor Seriake Dixon as chairman, while the Finance Committee is headed by Gombe State Governor Ibrahim Dankwambo. The statement signed by the National Publicity Secretary Olisa Metu indicates that the Zoning Committee is headed by Akwa Ibom State Governor Udom Emmanuel. Former chieftain of Social Democratic Party SDP and former governor of Osun State Olusegun Oshoba has defected to the All Progressives Congress APC. Oshoba's re-entry into APC was disclosed after a closed-door meeting with the APC national leader Bola Ahmed Tinubu and some chieftains of the party in Lagos. Musa Toliat has details.
It was a day set aside by the national leader of the All Progressive Congress APC, Bola Tinubu, and some governors on the party's platform from the western part of the country to deliberate on the move by the former chieftain of the Social Democratic Party and also a former governor of Ogun State, Chief Olusegun Oshoba, to rejoin the APC.
We want to strengthen a family of the progressives. We want to stay focused in redirecting Nigeria.
With what we have just done today, Akinwumi Oshoba, the Aremo himself, is back with the progressive leadership of the Buhari.
Chief Olusegun Oshoba thereafter shed more light on his reasons to rejoin the All Progressive Congress APC.
My progressive colleagues and I, who have had some purely political fundamental disagreement, have decided to shelve all our differences in the interest of this great country.
APC chieftains disclosed that there were critical national issues that were also discussed at the meeting. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
KOWA Party National Convention has ended in Abuja with Alhaji Saidu Boboy from Adamawa State as the new national chairman of the party. Timothy Yusuf reports that the new chairman promised to reposition the party for future electoral victory.
The convention had at its theme, on a mission to refocus, reorganize and rebuild. 35 delegates accredited for the election cast their votes between the immediate past national chairman Umar Mustafa from Borno State and Saidu Boboyi from Adamawa. At the end, Saidu Boboyi polled 28 votes to defeat Umar Mustafa, who polled 7 votes.
Hereby declare Alhaji Saidu Boboyi the winner.
The new national chairman says he will run an open-door administration where every member of the party will be recognized.
And we are going to design a strategic plan and systematic approach to ensure that we give Nigeria another alternative option.
The party's presidential candidate in the 2015 general election, Professor Remi Shonaya, called for a rebranding of KOWA Party and the nation's electoral system from what she described as too much of money spending in politics.
Change has got to start somewhere.
Mark Adebayo from Osun State emerged as the national secretary of the party unopposed. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Thanks, Timothy. Christians have been advised to believe and trust in the Lord Jesus Christ to ensure their salvation. This was a message in a sermon delivered by Reverend Father John Oluoma, parish priest of Christ the King Catholic Church, Kubwa, in Abuja to mark the Feast of Divine Mercy. Yours truly covered this at the Transforming Church, Gwarimpa, in Abuja. Saint Maria Faustina, a nun from Poland, is linked to the annual feast of Divine Mercy, celebrated on the second Sunday of Easter by the Catholic Church worldwide. Saint Faustina was reported to have had visions of Jesus Christ.
Whosoever believe, underline that word believe, that is the bone of contention.
Jesus Christ himself told us to put and celebrate his mercy upon humanity.
We thank God for this great opportunity to celebrate him.
At the Transforming Church Gwarimpa, Reverend Sam Oye challenged Christians to make gratitude a greater part of their lives, both at workplace and in their interaction with everyone for a greater nation.
I think there is already greatness in us. What we just need to deal with are the limiting factors, the things that hinders our greatness from finding expression.
He paid the price on the cross of Calvary. I and you, we can live in love. We can walk in love.
Gainfully employing youths through development of entrepreneurial skills have been identified as pivotal towards stimulating the growth and development of the country. Reverend Joshua Talena of the Shepherd's House International made this known at the 2016 Passion and Prophecy Night in Abuja. Olajide Bello has details.
The Passion and Prophecy Night is a brainchild of Shepherd's House Assembly International, held every third week of a new month. Prophet Joshua Talena urged Nigerians to be patient and fervent in prayers for the leadership of Nigeria at all levels for the desired and positive change to be actualized.
It means a night of thorough, deep worship, a night where we pour our heart to God, and in turn God speaks to us prophetically, either with miracles or one-on-one, or open new frontiers and new chapters in our lives.
It's a special night set aside, created by God, for a deeper encounter with God and also receiving the word of God from direct source, and as well having the lives of people transformed.
By the name Passion and Prophecy, and it has really brought ministry in a special way.
He also charged Nigerian youth to positively channel their energy and ideas towards contributing their quota towards the growth and development of the country. The event features special prayers and song ministration. The theme for this year's Passion and Prophecy Night is Come Experience God Like Never Before.
And now sports. Nigeria's Super Falcons battle ready for their first leg Africa Women Cup of Nations qualifier against Senegal. Plus, the Nigeria Table Tennis Federation is not relenting in its drive to groom budding talents at the grassroots and provide international exposure as the two-day Nigeria Open Table Tennis Championship qualifiers ends in Lagos. Adeola Omokivi reports.
Out of the country on Tuesday to clash with Senegal in the first leg qualifying fixture of a 10th Africa Women Cup of Nations final billed for Cameroon later this year. The match will take place on April 8th in Dakar, while the return leg is slated for Abuja on the 12th of April. Head coach Florence Omagbemi is confident that the Falcons will go past Senegal and also defend their title. And in table tennis, 4 male and 4 female table tennis players have qualified to join the 4 wild-carded players to compete for slots at the Nigerian Open Table Tennis Championship. After 2 days of keen competition, Kazim Makonjola, Jide Omotayo, Kehinde Oladele and Rowan Akombi made it in the men's category, while Bossel Dusonya, Fatima Bello, Esther Ribamishe and Nimota Rigbeshola qualified in the women's category.
This team will do well against Egypt. I mean, you're leading off with Aruna Quadri, Shegun Toriola playing in Lagos. I think we're fairly confident that we'll do well. And of course, forms the basis of a new national team after the Olympics.
I think the home-based players are also doing great. If they have the kind of exposure and
opportunities that the professionals are having.
The Nigerian Open comes up on the 18th to the 22nd of May in Lagos. And still talking table tennis, the maiden edition of the National Under-16 Table Tennis League has commenced at the Knockup Hall of the National Stadium, Lagos. 32 boys and 20 girls from 9 states of the Federation are featuring in the 6-day competition. The event, put together by the Nigerian Table Tennis Federation, seeks to identify budding talents in the game who would be called to camp for further grooming.
From now on, we'll be overseeing their performances, and if there's any other international competition, we'll be able to be sending them out for it.
The Table Tennis League, which went on break over the weekend, will resume on Monday at the Knockup Hall of the National Stadium in Lagos. The Sports News Update at Deola Omokivie, NTA News.
And that concludes Panorama. Nationwide is at 4. Good afternoon.